All right, so we need to fill out our icebox. So we need to fill out our icebox for this problem. And write our equilibrium expression, which our equilibrium expression is products over reactants. So HF squared over H2 and F2. Now I need to fill in my icebox. Now, what information do I know?
You know the initial concentrations of H2 and F2.
What are they?
1.0 and
2.0. 1.0 and 2.0, because we're just given their concentrations. They're given in moles, so we have to convert them to liters. So my H2 would be 3.0 divided by 3.0 would equal 1.00. My F2 is not 6, because that's just number of moles. I need to divide the moles divided by volume, and that gives me 2.00. What about HF? Do I know that concentration? So you assume it's 0 because you don't know that concentration. So now, this one's simple. You don't need to compare, on this part of it, you don't need to compare Q and K, do you?
No.
Why?
Because we can't be a negative concentration.
Yeah, you know HF has to gain, so you know it has to be proceeded to the right because you can't have a negative there. So what's the C of H2 and F2? What's the C of H2 and F2? Minus X. What about HF? What's its C? No. Plus 2x. Because remember, when you know our stoichiometric coefficient, so plus 2x. So now I'm just pulling this stuff down, 1.0 minus x, 2.0 minus x, and 2x. Okay, and 2x. So now I'm ready to plug this into my equilibrium expression, aren't I? So that's just plugging that in. Now, is this a perfect square? No, because it's not the same thing on the bottom. So this one tells you, because it's not a perfect square, that you're going to need to factor it out. Okay, factor it out first. FOIL factor, theta, potato. So that's what the bottom factors into.
That's 2x.
2x.
No, second time.
Yes, ma'am. But the squared is outside the parentheses. Okay. Now, what's my next step from here? All I did, this 1 point, you've all FOILed first, outer, inner, last. Y'all learn the FOIL method?
No,
Eli doesn't believe in it.
I knew somebody said, I heard this. Well, but you don't learn this FOIL.
I learned it in like middle school.
Yeah, 1.0 times 2 plus 1.0 times negative x. So that goes into that. What's my next step I need to do now? Need to multiply by the bottom. Now I need to multiply everything by the bottom. You're correct with that. So I need to multiply each side. I would take this out of parentheses personally and add scientific notation. Instead of writing 1.15 times 10 to the second, I would probably write that's 115. And now I need to do that. Now I simplified something else, didn't I? In this problem, 2x squared is equal to 4x squared, because I need to distribute that 2 to everything inside the parentheses. Okay, so it's 2 squared and x squared. So that's why it's 4x squared. Now I need to distribute. So I did 2 steps there. I multiplied each side by the bottom. And now I need to distribute. Now I need to distribute. And when I distributed, I went ahead and moved that 4x squared over. Okay. I didn't show that step, but this really would have been 115x squared minus 345x plus 230 equals 4x squared. And then I minus each side by 4x. So who can factor that out off the top of their head? I don't see Aries in here. Yeah, I couldn't do this one either. So that's telling you that I need to use, I can't easily know what x is, can I? So that's quadratic formula time. Quadratic formula time. Let's use the quadratic formula to solve this equation. There's quadratic formula. Remember, that's A, B, C. So let's just put that stuff in there. And that equals, I have a lot of steps in this one. That equals that. I'll give you a second. I did this. So now I have two values in this, don't I? Which one does not work? When this happens, you're going to get one answer that does not make sense every time. If you didn't get one answer that, so if you would have got one negative, one positive, naturally you can't have a negative concentration, so you would have chose the positive one. But in this case, which one would you use?
0.9%.
Why?
The other one will lead to a negative concentration
Yeah.
of the reactant.
Because the other one, because you go plug them both in, and you have 1.0 minus X for your concentration of H2. Okay. Well, 1.0 minus 2.14 is bigger than is negative, so that cannot happen. So you would use the 0.698, and there is your equilibrium concentrations. Any questions about this? You want me to work another one out? Or you want me to save another one and work for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And I will also post this.